Alright, so this video is for geometry. Last YouTube of the year, covering sections 11.2 through 11.6 on surface area and volume. Just revisiting some of those harder problems to give you some more review. Okay, so first one here. A triangular prism has base edges 4, 5, and 6 centimeters long. Its lateral area is 300 centimeters squared. What is the height of the prism? Okay, so my suggestion is you would draw a picture. Okay, so there's one triangle, there's a second triangle. There's my triangular prism. Okay, the base edges are 4 centimeters, 5 centimeters, and 6 centimeters. And the lateral area is 300 centimeters squared. Okay, so, and they want the height. So what we're going to do is we're going to use the lateral area formula. So lateral area of a prism is the perimeter of the base times the height. And they give you the lateral area. It's 300. You can find the perimeter of this base by adding, and I'll put in parentheses, 4 plus 5 plus 6. So that's the perimeter times the height. So let's simplify this. Excuse me. Alright, so 4 plus 5 is 9, plus 6 is 15, h. Divide by 15, and h is 20, and that would be in centimeters. Okay, so just be comfortable solving for variables that are not isolated, that you have to isolate yourself. Alright. 2 here. Surface area of this composite figure. You'll see a couple of these on this quiz, so make sure you can break this figure apart and find the surface area. So the first part I'll look for is the cylinder. Okay? And in this cylinder, there are 2 bases and the lateral area. However, the one base is inside the figure, doesn't count for the surface area. So to find the area of the cylinder, all I need to do, or the surface area of the piece of the cylinder for this composite figure, I need the lateral area plus 1 base. That's going to be the perimeter times the height plus the area of the base. So for a circular base, the perimeter is the circumference times the height, and then the area is pi r squared. So pi times 5 is the radius, so the diameter is 10 feet, double it. So we're doing times 10. The height is 6 for this cylinder. So I'll do this plus, and then this is pi times 5 squared. And in my calculator, when I do this calculation, I'll go to no decimals here. So we'll do pi times 6 times 10 plus pi times 5 squared. And I got 267. So this is 267, and that's feet squared. So that is the portion of the surface area contributed by the cylinder. And now the cone. For the cone, the base is hidden, so all I need to find is the lateral area. So the lateral area for the cone is 1/2 the perimeter of the base times the slant height. So the perimeter, because it's a cone, the perimeter of the base is the circumference. So we have 1/2 times pi times our diameter of 10 times, and now I need to find the slant height. The slant height is right over here. It's L. So what I do is I use, and I can put over here too, but because of the label I put over here. So we use this radius and the height that they give you in this right triangle to find the slant height. Okay? And I'll do it right here. We're going to use Pythagorean theorem, a squared plus b squared equals c squared. My slant height is my c, is the hypotenuse. So we'll go 5 squared plus 12 squared equals L squared. 25 and 144 is 169 is L squared, and we'll take the square root. And I get an L value of a nice even 13 feet. And now that number goes right down in there. 13. So I'll take 1/2 times pi times 10 times 13. And I get 204 feet squared. And now to find the total volume, or not the volume, we're doing surface area. To find the surface area of this figure, simply add 267 plus 204. And we get 471 feet squared. And there's the surface area. Next, okay, we're gonna edit this a little bit. Okay, so we're gonna take out the bags part. If you remember this from class, okay. All right. So we're going to say, here you go, to landscape her 70-foot by 60-foot rectangular backyard, your aunt is planning first to put down 4-inch layer of topsoil. And again, so we're taking out the bags, so she's going to buy bulk topsoil at $22 per yard cubed, and she has a delivery fee. How much does it cost? Okay. All right, so let's start with a picture. So here's my backyard with the topsoil. So I'll start with, this is going to represent the height of the topsoil right here. And then my backyard is, when I connect these, there's my backyard. So here's my backyard. This height is the topsoil. So this is all filled with topsoil. My backyard is 70 by 60, so I'll put the 60 here, the 70 there. And again, it's 4 inches tall. That's the depth of the topsoil. And it says you can buy bulk topsoil for $22 per yard cubed. How much is it going to cost? So there's a big units issue with this problem. And there's many ways to go about doing this. Here's how I'm going to show you. So this is in feet, that's in inches. Let's convert this to feet, okay? So 1 foot is 12 inches. 4 inches is less than a foot. So what we're going to do is we're going to do 4 divided by 12. And you get 1/3, and that's feet. Okay? So this is going to be 1/3 a foot. Okay. So now what I will do is I'll find the volume of this in feet cubed. Okay. So this is part 2. So volume equals the area of the base times the height. So for this rectangular prism, that would be 60 times 70 times 1/3. And this actually comes out to be a nice even 1,400. And that's feet cubed. Okay. So now, I can't have feet cubed, I need it in terms of yards cubed. So again, and I'll do it right over here, if 1 yard is 3 feet, then if I cube both sides, 1 yard cubed is going to be 27 feet cubed. Right? 1 cubed still stays 1, but 3 cubed is 27. So if I want to convert this from feet cubed to yards cubed, I'm going to take 1,400 and I'm going to divide it by 27. And I take 1,400 and divide by 27, I'm going to say I get 52 yards cubed. And that's how many yards cubed of topsoil I need. So now, if every yard cubed costs $22 and I have 52 of them, I'm simply going to multiply these two together. So to get my final answer, I'm going to take the $22, that is per yard, and I'm going to multiply it by my 52 yards. And I get $1,144. Okay? The yards cubed cancels. And then for the problem, add the delivery fee. So it would roughly cost you, $1,164 to put all this topsoil in your backyard. So again, be careful of these units. Again, I'd probably give you this if you have to use this right here. I'd probably give it to you. Okay, next, another composite figure here. Okay, so we need to find the volume though this time. Well, the first thing I would do is I would draw this dotted line, because what that dotted line signifies is it signifies, okay, here's a rectangular prism, here's half of a cylinder. I can attack this problem. Okay, so let's start with the rectangular prism. So the rectangular prism. Volume is area of the base times the height, which is, and again, you can use anything as the base. I'm going to use the 24 and 12, and then 10. It's fine. Just multiply all three dimensions, right? And what this comes out to be is 24 times 12 times 10. 2880. And that would be inches cubed. And now, half of the cylinder, right? So I'm going to find the regular volume. So I'm just going to find the volume of the cylinder and then take half of it in the end. Okay, so Think of it as half of a cylinder, but the volume formula for a cylinder is area of the base times the height. That's pi r squared times h. And now the only tricky part here is understanding what the dimensions for this cylinder are. And you have to be able to transfer this 12 up to here. That's why I drew this dotted line. Okay, this would be the circle if I finish it. Okay, so this 12 inches is the diameter. I need the radius. So the radius of this cylinder is 6 inches. Pi times 6 squared. And then the height would have to connect the two circular bases. Well, the other circular base is over here. So the height has to run this way. So the height is going to be that 10 inches. That 10 inches that goes between the two circles. So that's kind of tricky, right? Okay, and this volume comes out to be pi times 6 squared times 10. We'll go 1131. And that would be inches cubed. But I would like only half of this cylinder, right? So remember, so to take half of that volume, half of 1131 is 565.5. And that would be inches cubed. And that's what I want to do. And again, you can round up to 6 if you want to. It's going to say the nearest whole number, so we're going to do it in the end anyway. So now the total volume is 2880 plus 56, and I'll just round this up to 6. So 2880 plus 566. 3446, so 3,446, and that would be inches cubed. Okay. So with these composite figures, just understand what you're dealing with and find the individual volumes. Alright, cool. Next one, here we go. So it says, the Pyramid of Peace is an opera house in Astana, Kazakhstan. The height of the pyramid is approximately 62 meters, and one side of its square base is 62 meters. What is the volume of to the nearest 1,000 cubic meters? Okay. So here we go. So part A. Let's draw this square pyramid. So here's my square. There's my pyramid. Okay. Here's the 4 sides. The height right here, that height is going to be 62 meters, and each of the sides of the square base is also 62 meters. So to find this volume, this is a pyramid, 1/3 of a prism, which is 1/3 62 times 62 times the actual height, right? That's the h height, 62. And I'll do 62 times 62 times 62 times 1/3. And they want it rounded to the nearest 1,000. Okay, so that means the thousands place is the last non-zero digit. So this would actually be 79,000. 79,000. That'd be meters cubed. Okay. So that's part A. That's finding the volume of the pyramid. And now the second question is the important question: how tall would a prism-shaped building with the same square base as the Pyramid of Peace have to have the same volume as the pyramid? Okay, so now part B says, okay, now we have a prism. Well, the prism has 2 bases. So here's my 2 square bases. Now the square bases are the same, so it's still 62 meters, but now the height is changing, and I want to know what height I need to be to still have the same volume. So I still want the volume to be 79,000 meters cubed. Okay, well, this is the prism now. No more 1/3. Volume equals area of the base times the height. That's 62. Oh, I'm sorry. So we know the volume. The volume is 79,000. The area of the base, it's a square, 62 times 62, and then the height is what I'm looking for. So I'll do 62 times 62 and get 3844. So 79,000 equals 3844H. And then I'll divide by 3844. And when I do 79,000 divided by 3844, I get a height of, and I'll round to one decimal, 20.6. And that would be in meters. Okay. So just like this is like a two-step problem, right? It's like find the height of a prism with the same base as a pyramid that has this volume. So you had to find the volume of the pyramid to carry it over to the prism and then find the height. So again, just kind of an interesting problem, not so straightforward. All right, and then one more here. Find the volume in terms of pi of each sphere with the given surface area. Okay, so I would like to find the volume. That's 4/3 pi r cubed, but I need the r. All I'm given is the surface area. What I know right now is the surface area. It's 144 pi centimeters squared. But I do know a surface area formula for a sphere. That is going to be 4 pi r squared. So plug 144 pi in for your surface area. And now, look, you have pi's on both sides. Divide by 4. 36 equals r squared. And then take the square root. Two answers plus or minus, only keep the positive, 6 centimeters. There's your radius. Plug away. Volume equals 4/3 pi times 6 cubed. Volume equals 6 raised to the third is 216, so this is 4/3 times pi times 216. This 216 is over 1, so times it by 4. And then divide it by 3, or times it by 4/3, and you get a nice even number of 288 pi, and that would be centimeters cubed. So again, another neat problem here where you have to use the surface area to find the radius, and then use the radius to find the volume. Not so straightforward. Okay. So hopefully this was a good video for you. You're prepared for the quiz either Friday or Tuesday, and you study up. All right. We'll see you then.